Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome back to another FIFA 18 experiment. Today's experiment is going to be a big one. It's going to be a fun one, and it is one of your guys' suggestions as well, which is actually getting me a little bit more excited to give you guys something that you want to see. Hey or Hi, about a week ago at this point on the London versus Manchester video, said, what if you put the best 92 teams in FIFA across all 4 English divisions and sim up to 5 seasons. It'll be interesting to see the EFL Cup and FA Cup as well as who gets promoted and relegated in each season. I think this is a fantastic idea to do a superliga in England's 4 divisions, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're going to go by rating in game, and that is it. That's all I've based this on. There's absolutely no bias. It has to do with their in-game rating, and we're going to put the best 92 teams in the 4 divisions. So the best of the best will be in the Premier League, then the Championship, League 1, League 2. You guys know how it works. And he brings up a very good point. The EFL Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever you want to call it, the League Cup, and the FA Cup, they're going to be like mini Champions Leagues with the best teams in the world. And the Champions League and Euro League are going to be pretty easy to win, and it's going to be one of the top teams in the Premier League that wins it. So you could argue that maybe the FA Cup and EFL Cup are actually more prestigious now because the best teams in the world, quite literally, all across the world, are going to be fighting for those 2 competitions, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. So thank you so much for your idea, and I want you guys to keep leaving your comments in the comment section below. You guys have some very original ideas, so keep leaving them in the comment section below, and if you see anything down there that you like and that you want to see, leave a like on that comment so I can see it more easily. This one had 89 likes, so it's very easy to find. Also, before we jump into things, if you do go on to enjoy today's video, do leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'm going to put a little extra caveat on today's video. If you want to see more seasons, if you want to see beyond 5 seasons, smash the hell out of that like button. I want you guys to hit 1,000 likes. Now, I only get over 1,000 likes when I get massive views on videos, but I really want you guys to show me that you want to see more, if you want to see more, which is why I've put the target so high. I don't usually ask for likes, but if you do want to see more seasons past these 5 seasons, if you go on to enjoy today's video a lot and you want to see more, definitely leave a like. Once we hit 1,000, I'll definitely do another 5 seasons. Okay, before we start the simulations, let's take a look at the teams involved, starting with the 4th division. We have Saint Etienne, Atalanta, Augsburg, Boca Juniors, Bologna, Bournemouth, Burnley, Leganes, CSKA, Moscow, Alaves, Krasnodar, Girona, Bordeaux, Hamburg, Cologne, Monterrey, Newcastle United, Olympiacos, PSV, SC Braga, Sampdoria, Stuttgart, Tigres, and Trabzonspor. In League 1, we have Ajax, Başakşehir, Berlin, Crystal Palace, Fenerbahce, Feyenoord, Frankfurt, Galatasaray, Genoa, Lokomotiv Moscow, Mainz, Malaga, Nice, Lyon, Deportivo, Real Betis, Eibar, Sassuolo, Stoke, Swansea, Torino, Las Palmas, Watford, and West Brom. Moving up into the Championship, we have Athletic Bilbao, Besiktas, Everton, Fiorentina, Hoffenheim, Inter Milan, who just missed out on the top division, Lazio, Leicester City, Leipzig, Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Marseille, Espanyol, Real Sociedad, Benfica, Schalke, Shakhtar Donetsk, Southampton, Spartak Moscow, Sporting Club de Portugal, Valencia, West Ham, Wolfsburg, and Zenit. And the upper echelon is the Premier League, the top division, the best of the best, the 20 best teams in the world: Monaco, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona, Porto, Juventus, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, AC Milan, Napoli, PSG, Real Madrid, Roma, Sevilla, Spurs, and Villarreal. So what we're going to do now is simulate, and I'll show you what happens at the end of every single season, including who gets promoted, relegated, and who wins some silverware. So without further ado, let's take a look at what happens at the end of Season 1. Okay, so sim the whole season. We are now at the end of Season 1, and we will start from the bottom and move up to the top. We won't go in depth with every single team, but we will take a look at who gets promoted and relegated. So in League 2, the guaranteed promotions are Hamburg, Tigres, and Sampdoria, with either Bournemouth, Bordeaux, Trabzonspor, or Moscow, CSKA Moscow, I should say, joining them. The worst team in all the 92 teams for this season was Olympiacos, 37 points in League 2. In League 1, Fenerbahce and Ajax will be going up to the Championship automatically, with Galatasaray, Berlin, Lyon, or Swansea joining them. Relegated from League 1 to League 2 is Torino, Las Palmas, West Brom, and Watford. Moving on to the Championship and moving up to the Premier League is Everton and Inter Milan, and joining them will be either Benfica, Lazio, Real Sociedad, or Borussia Mönchengladbach. And going down is Valencia, Hoffenheim, and Leicester City. And the upper echelon, this is how it ends. Real Madrid are the winners by 10 massive points, my word. The top 4 consists of Bayern Munich, Manchester City, and Juventus. And getting relegated from the Premier League is Sevilla, Monaco, and Napoli. Moving on to some silverware winners, the easier trophies to win, despite the fact that in real life these are probably more prestigious trophies. Europa League was won by 12th place Arsenal as they beat PSG on penalties. Moving into the Champions League, it is Liverpool, 10th place Liverpool, beating Spurs 2-1 in the Champions League final. But going on to a bit more of a prestigious tournament, Spurs beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, massive North London derby to end it. Spurs finishing 14th in the league. And the Emirates FA Cup winners, relegated from League One, 24th place in League One, is Watford, beating Manchester United on penalties. Congratulations to Watford. To win the FA Cup is absolutely exceptional, but at the same time, they're in League 2 next season, so I don't even know how big of a deal it is. So for Season 1, the silverware winners were Real Madrid, Watford, Spurs, Arsenal, and Liverpool. What a season that was. I can't wait to see how the next season goes. Let's simulate to Season 2. I'm ready to go. Okay, moving on to Season 2, and it is the end of the season, and this is how things have stacked up in League 2, with Bordeaux, Trabzonspor, and Cologne going up automatically. PSV, Bologna, Leganes, and Torino will fight for their spot to join them, which means the relegated teams, including West Brom, Watford, and Las Palmas, don't even have a chance of getting back up into League 1. The only team that has a chance is Torino, and they came 7th. So out of the relegated teams, they struggled. The worst team in the league was Boca Juniors, 6 wins to their name. Pretty shocking, really. In terms of League 1, Valencia bounced straight back into the championship, and they take Stoke City with them. And then Hoffenheim, Leicester City, Lyon, and Galatasaray have a chance of joining them. Of course, Hoffenheim and Leicester were recently relegated into League 1, so they would definitely be looking to get back up. And going down back into League 2... And going down into League 2 will be Tigres, Genoa, Lokomotiv Moscow, and Sampdoria. Unfortunately for Tigres and Sampdoria, it was one season in the 3rd division, and they're back down to the 4th. Now taking a look at the championship, where Monaco and Sevilla will be going through to the Premier League, both getting an astonishing 100-point plus season. Sevilla just losing 3 games all season. Incredible campaigns from both. They're both straight back to the Premier League where they came from. Schalke, Napoli, Leverkusen, and Sporting Club de Portugal will be trying to join them. Napoli was the 3rd team that got relegated from the Premier League, so they'd be fighting pretty hard to get back up. And then getting relegated is Espanyol, Ajax, and Berlin. So unfortunately for Ajax and Berlin, again, just one season in the championship and they're straight back down. Fenerbahce was able to survive, and they get another season in the championship. But back to the top league in the world, and Madrid has done it back-to-back now, 2-time Premier League winners. Despite the fact that they didn't lose the least amount of games, they don't have the best attacking team, they don't have the best defensive team, Madrid just get the job done. That's what it comes down to with Real Madrid. They get the job done, and credit to them, they are now back-to-back winners of an incredibly difficult competition. In terms of the top 4, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and PSG were the other teams in there. Surprisingly, Inter and Everton are going straight back down, and that's not really the surprising part. They were automatically promoted. The team that won from the playoffs, Benfica, are still in the Premier League. Villarreal go down, Benfica survive, and they survived pretty comfortably as well at the end of the day. So good work by Benfica. I mean, that is really, really impressive. Taking a look at some silverware, Juventus beat Lille in the Europa League. Lille's not even part of these 92 teams that we're simulating with, so they just made it on their own merit, but they could not beat Juventus. The Champions League was won by Bayern Munich, 2nd place in the league, Bayern Munich. They beat 1st place Real Madrid 3-0. Huge win. The Carabao Cup was won by Everton. Relegated Everton beating Barcelona. Nice work by them. And another team in League 1 winning the FA Cup. This time 5th place Lyon, so slightly better than Watford. But they are a League 1 team. Just goes to show that the magic of the FA Cup definitely exists in this sim right now. So the silverware winners for Season 2 were Real Madrid, Lyon, Everton, Juventus, and Bayern Munich. Alright, at the end of Season 3, this is what things look like, and it is kind of difficult to keep track with who's gone down and who's gone up, so if I make any mistakes, I do apologize. After starting out life in League 1 and missing out on an opportunity to get back there last season, Torino finally gets back to League 1 with an automatic promotion, and joining them is Atalanta, and also recently relegated Sampdoria. They jump straight back up into League 1, and joining them will be either PSV, Olympiacos, Bournemouth, or San Etienne. The worst team in the 92 teams this season was Lokomotiv Moscow, who, funnily enough, started out in the 3rd division, so they weren't even in the worst division of teams, and they're now the worst team out of any of the teams. That is absolutely crazy. League 1 now, Lyon gets the promotion along with Leicester City. Joining them will be either Bordeaux, Cologne, Real Betis, or Nice. And getting relegated to League 2 is Hamburg, Trabzonspor, CSKA Moscow, and Crystal Palace. Moving on to the Championship, Everton are just yo-yoing all over the place. They join Napoli, who return back into the top division. Villarreal will try to join them, as well as Schalke, Leipzig, and Sporting Club de Portugal. Inter Milan, no chance of getting back into the top division. They are now well and truly in the 2nd division. Getting relegated into League 1 is Stoke City, who only spent 1 season in the Championship. They take Marseille and Shakhtar Donetsk with them. And last but not least, believe it or not, Real Madrid by 1 point are now 3-time Premier League winners, 3-time First Division winners in this league. Bayern Munich only losing 2 games all season, but Madrid with 27 wins in 38 games do just enough with the exact same goal difference to beat them. If Bayern had 1 more point, they would win on goals scored. They would win the league on goals scored. That's how close they were. Manchester City and PSG were the other 2 teams that rounded out the top 4. And relegated is Sevilla, Monaco, and Benfica. Sevilla and Monaco go straight back down, and they take Benfica with them, who got the promotion in the 1st season. Which means one team that got promoted did survive. Leverkusen just survived, and again, it was not the team that got automatically promoted, it was the playoff team that actually survived. Similar to last season with Benfica, Leverkusen survived, but if they're going to follow Benfica, that means next season they're going to get relegated, so we'll see if that happens or not. Taking a look at some silverware winners, Manchester United were able to take out the EuroLeague against no one, really. All they had to do was beat Barcelona, which isn't nothing, but just look at the EuroLeague. It's just such terrible teams in it. The Champions League was won by Bayern Munich, 1-0 winners against Juventus. Bayern Munich are winning some silverware despite not winning the league. They're doing pretty good. They look like one of the better teams. Carabao Cup winners were Monaco, 19th place, getting relegated into the 2nd division, Monaco, so credit to them. They do get a bit of silverware on their way down. And the FA Cup winners were Juventus, 7th place in the league, and they pick up some silverware to back up their Europa League win last season. So the silverware winners for this season were Real Madrid, Juventus, Monaco, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich, who back-to-back won the Champions League from the 2nd place in the league. Okay, Season 4. And things are really starting to get confusing now. I'm losing track of who's been where and who's done what, so I'm just going to talk about who's getting promoted and relegated. In the 4th division, PSV, Braga, and Hamburg go up. Joining them will be either Krasnodar, Newcastle United, Crystal Palace, or Augsburg. And the worst team across the 92 teams this season was West Brom, who at one point I think were in League 1. No, maybe they were close, or I don't know. I swear they were in League 1 at one point. They're now the worst team in the 92 teams. Moving on to League 1, where Ajax and Shakhtar Donetsk go up. Shakhtar going straight back up, by the way. They got relegated last season. Joining them will be either Nice, Marseille, Sassuolo, or Galatasaray. Down into League 2 will be Bologna, Deportivo, Cologne, and a completely outclassed Başakşehir. They should not be in the 3rd division. They got smacked around big time. In terms of the championship, the teams getting up into the top division are Monaco, Hoffenheim, who I believe are going to make their first appearance in the top division, and then joining them will be Sporting, Sevilla, Leipzig, or Lazio. Monaco going straight back up, and Sevilla have a chance to go straight back up. Unfortunately, Benfica do not have a chance to go back up, which is unfortunate for them. In terms of the teams getting relegated into League 1, it's going to be Lyon, Fiorentina, and Fenerbahce. Finally, a new winner in the league. It's Juventus that has done it. Well done to Juventus. Finally, someone knocks over the juggernaut that is Real Madrid. And unfortunately for Real Madrid, they finished 4th this season, so really a terrible season by their standards. Barcelona lost the least amount of games in the league, and similar to Bayern Munich, they were so close and maybe on paper looked the better team, but 1 point behind, so they weren't good enough. With Bayern Munich finally dropping down to 3rd, I think they came 2nd every season. I think the top 2 was the exact same every season. I could be wrong about that. The relegated teams are Everton, who go straight back down, Villarreal, who go straight back down, and Roma. And Roma, who I believe are going down for the first time into the second division, so Napoli hold their spot in the top division after getting promoted. Well done to them. Taking a look at some silverware winners for this season, in the Europa League, Barcelona beat Juventus to win that. PSG winning the Champions League from 7th position in the league. They beat Manchester United on penalties. In the Carabao Cup, Chelsea were able to hold off Sassuolo on penalties. 6th place in the league, they win the Carabao Cup. And the FA Cup was won by 8th place in the second division, Benfica. So they're not going back into the top division, but they have won some silverware, so it is a bit of a consolation for them. Which means the silverware winners for season 4 were Juventus, Benfica, Chelsea, Barcelona, and PSG. The first time Real Madrid did not win a bit of silverware in a season. Okay, finally, the final season of this experiment, season 5, Boca Juniors, who at one point were the worst team out of the 92 teams, pick up the automatic promotion of first place in the 4th division. Congratulations to them. They joined Cologne, who were relegated last season, and Olympiacos going up into the 3rd division. Bologna, Deportivo, Crystal Palace, and Monterrey are potentially joining them. The worst team of the 92 teams this season. They went from last in Division 3 to last in Division 4. The crumbling, the fall of Başakşehir. I don't know what has gone on with this club. I don't know what has happened. They are just awful. I don't know what's happened. They must just have like a bunch of old players that are gone, because they are shocking right now. Moving on to League 1, going up is Torino and Lyon, and joining them will be Espanyol, Stoke, Frankfurt, or PSV. And going down is going to be Sampdoria, Fenerbahce, Berlin, and Fiorentina. In the Championship, Roma and Everton's time in the second division is short-lived as they go straight back up. I'm pretty sure Everton has been relegated or promoted every single season. They really have yo-yoed between the first and second divisions, but I'm sure they're not really complaining about that too much. Both of them getting 100 plus points in the league. Joining them will be either Sevilla, Lazio, Wolfsburg, or Leipzig, which means Villarreal will not have a chance to return back into the Premier League, unfortunately for them. And going down into League 1 will be Bordeaux and the recently promoted Sassuolo and Shakhtar Donetsk. For the final time, taking a look at the top division, and 2 English teams top it, with Manchester City winning the league. Nicely done. I was not expecting an English team to win it, I gotta be honest with you guys, but they've taken out the top 2 places with Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, who have just been, I think, in the top 4 every single season. I'm quite sure they have been, in 3rd and 4th respectively. It looked like Manchester United were in and around top 4 every single season. Once again, they fall short in 5th place. And relegated is Monaco, Sporting, and Hoffenheim, which is the same 3 teams that went up last season. They're all going back down. Hoffenheim, not even sure what you're doing in the top division, man. Completely on a different level. You guys are just not at the level of these top teams. Taking a look at some silverware winners, Real Madrid were able to beat Chelsea in the Europa League. PSG beat Barcelona in the Champions League. Atletico Madrid beat Hamburg in the Carabao Cup, and also Atletico Madrid beating Spurs in the FA Cup, which, fun fact, means Atletico Madrid are the first and only team in this experiment that won 2 titles in the same season. Atletico Madrid did it. That's the only team that did a double any of the trophies in any of the seasons. So congratulations to them. And that means at the end of the season, the silverware winners were Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and PSG. And that is the end of today's experiment, guys. A bit of a different one, a bit of a crazy one. Really difficult to keep up with who went up and down and who started where and who had done what. Really, really confusing, guys. I hope I made it somewhat easy for you guys to follow. I hope it wasn't too confusing, but really the main thing was the Premier League, the top division, and also the silverware. I think we should pay attention to who won some silverware as well. So that was really the main thing. The other leagues were fun to look at. Some of the teams, like Boca Juniors, went from the worst team in all 92 teams in like the first or second season to getting automatic promotion and winning the 4th division and getting promoted. Was really crazy. Surprise of the experiment for me in terms of the league, at least. I mean, the surprise overall was Watford winning the FA Cup when they came 24th in League 1 in the 3rd division. But in the leagues, the surprise for me, especially in the top division, was Leverkusen holding their spot. They got promoted and they never got relegated. I think they were in the top division for 2 seasons, maybe 3, I think 2. And that is exceptional. I was not expecting Bayer Leverkusen to stay in the league for that long. Hats off to them. But also Başakşehir, going from the worst team in the 3rd division to the worst team in the 4th division. They couldn't even challenge for a promotion again. They were so bad. I don't know what happened to them, honestly. Really interesting to see some of these things, guys. It was a really fun experiment, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the idea and the suggestion, and keep leaving your suggestions in the comment section below. Like I said at the top of the video, if this video hits 1,000 likes, it's a massive number, so if you guys really want to see it, you have to put in the support. I will do another 5 seasons, and then we might even go further. I don't know how popular this is going to be. I don't know how much you guys actually want to see this, so leave your support with a like on the video, and if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the content. That is all for today's experiment, guys. Like I said before, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like on the video. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.